So somebody has a question. If that's you? Well, that wasn't you. Are you the one? Okay, there are a few. So I will start it then. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no need. We do the question and answer. Yeah. So you.
Thank you, Namaste. Can I ask 2 questions?
Yeah.
So somebody asked yesterday that if deciding to give birth to a baby is bad karma or good karma, if the birth is suffering, then why the decision of giving birth is neutral karma?
Birth is giving a birth. It is coming to this world, means coming to samsara, meeting with this suffering for sure. But birth itself is not something negative thing. So now it's like how are you going to use your life? That's more important. So that's why as a human rebirth, and especially when we say the wisdom part, the wisdom which you make the decision, this is right, this is wrong. So then with the guidance, the right guidance, so this is how we make our decision. But the birth itself is not a negative anything. So yes, coming to the samsara, it's same as coming to the suffering. That's for sure. So do you think there's some contradiction there?
No, I was just confused that if the decision is neutral, then if the birth is a suffering, if we are coming to this world, then it started with the decision of giving birth between the parents that we should make a baby or not. So it started then and there, the suffering, the future.
No, it's more like they want to complete the family.
So it's there.
Yeah. So it's a one way of thinking. We want a family. We want a baby. It's not like baby wants a life. We will make him such a great master who can bring some kind of teaching into this world. Nobody plans like that. Even though I said nobody, but I just saw a message from a friend. Maybe he knows that we are going to talk about this. Asanka, one of the great masters of Nalanda, Asanka asked his mother, what does my father do? And in a very young age, he said, don't ask stupid questions. What I do, what your father do. You are not here to hold the lineage of what we are doing. I want you to, from the beginning, I make a strong prayer that you will take a rebirth, you will be born, and then you bring the light to this world in the suffering. So this is your task. So there are some other paths like that. That's a very exceptional case, exceptional situation. Yeah. So then normally it's more like, as I said, to complete the family. You say now we get married, others are having baby, let's have a baby. Okay, what's the second one?
Second question is, can we all achieve enlightenment by being in the influence of responsibilities and job? like what is the concept of getting married in Buddhism or in the monk's life? What is the concept of getting married or leaving marriage, leaving the family behind? And when anybody gets to know that they are enlightened, what is the moment when they know that, okay, now we are enlightened?
That's a very long question. So I got the first part, can everybody can fully enlightened?
Yes,
that I got.
Yes, like I am engaged, if I am engaged, so can I practice this enlightenment or the three scopes? Can I practice in my daily life with my job apart from that?
Yes, definitely. So the simplest answer is, if you don't want to suffer, and then you have to ask, for how long you don't want to suffer. According to that, then this kind of practice should be practiced. Saying like, I don't want to suffer for the next life. I want to be reborn as a human rebirth. I don't want to go to any other realms that there's too much suffering. Then, first scope. The second scope will be not just taking a rebirth in the samsara is full of suffering, as we said, because the seed is there, then all the karmas and then attachment and all this will make me unhappy for sure. So then it's more like now pervasive suffering. Then you have understanding of that. Then second scope becomes part of your practice. But third scope, it's more like even I feel how comfortable, even I have all the answer. For me, just staying like this, closing my eyes and locking myself inside, there is no peace, because each and every outside there who is making a noise or who is silently making a noise, I really wanted to help them. And then I don't care who is helping and who is volunteering, I will be there to give them the antidote which I am finding and which I have found. That's called bodhicitta. Third scope. So this has to apply. I'm tempted. But once you have a bodhicitta, emptiness, in order to accumulate merit, it's through the sentient beings. That's the generosity, ethical contact, patience, all these activities what normally we are doing. Doing business, you do whatever what you're doing. So now this has to be held by the wisdom and the bodhicitta, and then same process. So that's what we are looking for. It's not only to become a monk and nun and become isolated. Why isolated? They wanted to become much more stronger. So similar, like I cannot deal with this, I want a break, then you go into retreat. Then the best retreat is when you come down, then I feel like I'm ready. Now, once you open the door of the retreat, you should be like, bring it on. People normally don't do this type of thing. Like you open the door and then it's like, I want to do the retreat again. So that's why. So of course, all these practices, what we say, whoever does not want the suffering, now and forever, this is the practice. It's not to become a monk and then going on all this doing rituals and practice. This is to help you to become stronger. Yeah. And then you know what? Because when we say Buddha, then it sounds like, oh, so much effort, then you become Buddha. Why Buddha's path is called no more learning? That's very powerful. So now, in order to have others, I don't need any effort. There will be no such a tiny, small, annoyed feeling at all. And then you can stay there. for each and one sentient being, you can sit there for until he is fully enlightened. You can be there. If you have the right merit, so it comes together, karmic connection. So this is kind of a powerful method, and this. So it should be for everybody. Okay.
But with a birth, like you said, it's upon us what decision we make, like right or wrong. But when the baby is in the womb, he don't have any choice to make any decision, so he has already started suffering.
Yes. So that's why we say under the sway of negative emotion. Even we study a lot for 30, 40 years, we cannot fight with our negative emotions. So the most powerful thing is not to, as I told you from the beginning, our first practice shouldn't be looking for an antidote. Our first practice should be, am I really suffering? Am I tormented by thirst? Then you look for the water. So this is we have a small problem, which is very small problem, and then for you it's like you're putting that into near to your eye. It looks so big, and then you wanted to escape from that only, not like the whole huge, the pervasive one. So in Dharma is trying to give you this big concept or idea where if you really wanted to break free from samsara, not to just from a tiny problem that you have with your family. So that's why. So the baby, we cannot say much. But now, once you are born and then you are right enough, mature enough to feel like I wanted to not take a rebirth again. Up to this is such a great practice. Rarely people can feel this, rarely people can ask about this kind of question. Sometimes maybe I can say that some people who suicide for the tiny reason to just end a life, that it is like they think like now, then I don't need to suffer anymore. They are having like this death is like a liberation, a kind of answer. So now, whole concept like coming into the samsara, this is something I need to seize it. So that's a big, huge asking actually. Very difficult. Most difficult is not the antidote. Most difficult is like you cannot relate to this kind of question. You cannot get familiarized with this question. You don't want to become friend with this kind of people. You don't want to listen to this kind of teaching. So this is our main focus. Okay? Thank you. Oh, love. Monkey? Oh, okay. So there was one lady there. Yes, please. Yeah. The lady.
First the lady and then...
Ladies first. Yeah. The Quran did way, didn't it? Did way. Okay. Yeah.
First of all, thank you for your teaching, for your guidance. My question is also twofold, but I will just ask the first one. So let's say that it's related to the analytical meditation. let's say that the object of meditation is a negative mental state, like a feeling of worry, or maybe a physical sensation that brings about the suffering, the discomfort. How should we meditate on the conditions that give rise to the suffering without just meditating on the feeling of suffering itself, which you referred to this morning as manifest suffering?
Have you tried to meditate on the manifest suffering?
Yes.
So what do you feel?
More suffering.
So we don't need that. So that's why I said many people does that. So they wanted to look into the suffering and they feel it, and then they wondered, oh, this is not a really healthy one. But here, in this text, never teaches you stay focused on the suffering. It always tells the suffering is there because behind that there is something with you that it brings this suffering. You cling to this suffering. Like you have a pimple. The whole people they don't care. But you are with here with pimple which is that kind of thing. That's pimple is there. People, whole people are looking at that. This is pimple, okay. If I put bandage, then the air cannot go. So I put that out. It dries out naturally. So I don't care what people think. Just stay calm. So it is part of you. This is. I don't care about that. So this is something that we need to bring this kind of practice. So similarly, all this suffering should be there because there's a cause. So, yeah. So if you really want to challenge, don't fight with the manifest one, not the result. Try to learn to find from the beginning, which is the cause of that suffering. So whenever Buddha teaches you know the suffering, then people will not say like, I wanted to fight with this suffering. They will always say, what is that cause of the suffering? Because I really want to challenge it. So that we need to adapt.
If you use like a very negative, like let's say you have physical pain or some physical ailment, use that as an example, and you try to find the source of that, with the source other than I have a head, so I have a headache, like could like the specific thoughts or something be the source that gives rise to that? Or could you give an example using like a physical manifestation?
So one of the best, the example is yesterday I mentioned how His Holiness Dalai Lama used his technique. When you see this, I have a problem like a goldstone that His Holiness was having, and then he sees other people suffering, and with the compassion he looks into that kind of a pain, and they feel so helpless. Then His Holiness grows so much compassion. That actually kind of becomes, it numbs that you're suffering for the moment. That is a powerful practice. As I told you about the mother and the child, she couldn't sleep for continuously with the baby has a fever. She couldn't sleep, but she never complains. And if the baby's fever is gone, then she can, now I can sleep well. But it's her husband who is a fever, then maybe she will be more relaxed, like, okay. When the baby becomes more older, then maybe she will like, okay. But this kind of compassion. And then if you look, this is how it goes. When you have this physical pain in the body, like in case that we are admitted into the hospital and you are in urgency care, how now so many different thoughts will come to you. But most important, you have to think like, in this hospital, I'm not the only one. And this hospital is full of this kind of cases. And I am getting sick, I got sick, I have a disease, or they have this kind of thing. So, having this kind of body, that means we can have it. So why shouldn't it be happening? It should happen. That is accepting the suffering. If you reject this kind of suffering, it's more painful. So now you accept it. So you accept it, then you feel like, okay, I accept this. So on the top of that kind of practice, then you can say like, all this, now it's much more stronger. If you connect to some kind of practice called Tonglen, the taking and giving practice is very powerful. So now I'm got sick, I cannot do anything, but may I be the representative of all the people who is in this hospital, may I can get all this suffering, that they don't need to suffer like this. Oh, you become the most, I really don't know, if you have some kind of a scanner or some kind of an examination, the scientists put everywhere there, your maybe this way of brain or all these signals it will show in the monitor will be fantastic. That means even you have to die, you can die very peacefully. So that's why Bodhisattva's way of living becomes very, very, very necessary. Not on others, for yourself also. Because Bodhisattvas are so smart. Because I love this Bodhisattva's prayer saying, it's actually the first Dalai Lama's teaching. The first Dalai Lama, when he was in almost 80 or 90s I guess, so quite aged. And then his students, because he's the one of the heart son of the Lama Tsongkhapa behind the statue, you see. So they said, now you are such a blessed, and now you are such an inspiration. You are such a great Bodhisattva. So for you, now you maybe don't have a worry. As ordinary people dying, they have lots of problem. For you, now maybe you were born into Pure Land. And then the first Dalai Lama said, in the entire my life, I never prayed, may I born in Pure Land. I always pray that may I be born wherever the sentient being needs me, even in the hell, even in the insect, what kind of form, I don't care. May I will be there. That is such a connecting, actually. And if this kind of a Bodhisattva borns into any kind of family, that Bodhisattva does not have any problem with the family. Even crazy family, maybe he's born into. But he will still love them so dearly. You cannot stand for almost 5 minutes with the family, but that Bodhisattva can really enjoy the time there. That's the power of the motivation. From this kind of, he is pushed by that kind of compassion. That's needed.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, where's that guy? Yes, go. Yes.
Thank you so much for your teaching and blessings. I just have a question regarding the karma. How does the karma work?
Mm-hmm.
As we are normal persons, I just want to know how the karma works for a soldier.
Soldier?
Yes, soldier who's in the military, whose work is to kill the enemy.
Hmm.
So I just want to know because the components, as I've seen in this introduction of Buddhism, the motivation is to kill. Action is physical, and after completion, they get a satisfaction that I have stopped this person who is trying to kill my person. So I just want to know one thing, like how does this karma will come back to the soldier? But he don't have any intention, like self-intention. Is there something, or order you can say, which is from the top priority came to him and I just have to do? The karma is done by that soldier. How is this karma good or bad? If this karma will come back to him, how it will be?
This will come up in our maybe in 2-3 days about karma. But karma is actually it's not just like an action. It's something like continuously, even thinking, speaking, all this leaves some kind of a footprints, invisible footprints there. So kind of seed there. So now, if you curse somebody to such a huge negative emotion, okay, you have an intention, bad intention, and then you speak with the harsh words, and then once you say it, then you feel like joy. All this comes together. It's a very powerful karma that you have created. So, because that is a cause to bring up something. Like, if I empty this cup, then next whoever brings a tea or milk, easy to pour in there. So similarly, all this pattern, whatever we say, bad things, good things, noodle, not noodle. Neutral. Sounds like noodle. All this leaves this print. So then, for in case, like what you asked the question regarding about the soldiers, the soldier who really don't want to, who doesn't want to kill, and wanted to even touch the gun, but now he is forced to do it. And then the most negative karma, who is creating, is actually not himself. Is the mastermind. If your boss told him to kill that person and you go, and that the most biggest karma is created by that your boss, not you. But still you will have a karma of killing that person. But that is not very, very kind of a big one. So you went there and kill, and then you feel like you have regret. Then even you get a discount. Once you kill, and you feel like I did it. Yeah, I did it. So there, it has a much stronger negative action. So that kind of action, which normally when we think about action, it's when you do it, then it continues. When you stop doing it, then it stops. The karma is not like this. It continuously continues within us.
Sorry to say, but I belong to Hindu family, so I have read some scriptures and I have listened to some groups. So there was a group who just told regarding this, like if you are doing some karma, because as we do the karma jobs here in afternoon, so a soldier's karma is to protect his country and the people of the country. If I am doing something like that, I should be fully motivated, because I am just, what should I say, I am escaping my people to die, the innocent people. And in their sense, this is the best karma that you can do. And he just told that also, if you are doing some karma, not for your pleasure, not for your beneficial, and not for your happiness, so it would be not counted as a karma for yours. This was like Guruji told.
Yeah.
That's why I was just confused, so I just asked this question to you.
There's not much confusion, because if you need to kill, what does that mean, to kill for your country? What does that really mean? It doesn't mean if you have to kill for country that there should be some kind of a reason that you, all the leaders of this world uses this kind of mantra saying we need to attack, we need to use our nuclear bomb, or we need to use our now all what we stocked into this, we need to throw it because we need to protect our country. But to be honest, as a now soldier, you always get paid from government, and now at the time it's sometimes very difficult to retreat from this kind of case. So even you need to go for a war, and you have to kill. The most important thing is that you need to feel, you need to have a kind of awareness that I'm not here to actually kill. Actually, I'm here to protect my country. Then it's a different way, very different way of thinking. Your leader is full of politics, but your way of thinking is two different things. Even at the time of Buddha, there's also sutra where a king and his army has to go into war, and then he pays respect to the Buddha, and then he asks Buddha to give a blessing. And Buddha gave us such a beautiful teaching, saying now your elephant is this symbolize this piece of this, that, and that. And your weapon should represent something like this. When you throw the weapon, you should think like this. All this teaching he taught to this king and the armies. And then he comes to like, in future right now you kill them. Now in future you need to kill their ego, emotions, negative emotions, karma. You take this responsibility too. So now you go. This is how Buddha gives this teaching. So it's not an easy one. But then in one of the Buddha's previous lives, there is a great story that he was a merchant, right? Merchant. And then another merchant that they wanted to kill so many merchants who are doing such a great business. On the way they wanted to come through a bridge, and that merchant wanted to kill this whole people, large number of people coming, and he wanted to cut the rope of the bridge and they kill them all because of the jealousy and so on. So that time the Buddha, not that time he's not Buddha, but as a sentient being, he felt like, I have to save all these people. And somehow if I request him not to do it, he will never do it. So then through such a great compassion, he pushed that merchant from the cliff. So then at the time of when he became a Buddha, omniscient, he looks into his past lives, what he has done. He said, this way of killing, the action of the Bodhisattva, I did the right thing. Just in order to save thousands and thousands, that person, he didn't put like, I did a great job. That person, I didn't let that person have the bad karmas. I stopped him from doing this. So I feel so happy. So this is way of actually thinking here. Yeah. So you can still debate. Yeah. So don't take it very seriously, because in this samsara, it's like an art. It's like a drama. In samsara, if there is no kind of this platform, and it's kind of boring. So the wars and jealousy, it's a part of the samsara. So now we have to learn it, coming from that samsara and then watching it. But once you are within it, very difficult. So you really need to bring this motivation. How I'm going to do it? I'm doing it for that reason. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. So, yes, you can come. What was that? Oh, okay, for a long time. Okay. For a long time.
Thank you. Hello, shalom. I've tried a lot of spiritual practices and lots of different methods and approaches, and I've always ended up with being always a slave to my own mind and returning to my old habits, and that's included in me ending in a lot of self-hatred and anger toward myself. And so my question is, how can one have a healthy relationship with himself, with compassion, even though he does mistakes and returning to samsara and doing.
Yeah. Don't think too much, which is not easy. Try to enjoy all the moment. Okay? Don't rush. And then look for a kind of an antidote that actually how to love yourself. So to love yourself, you cannot challenge to your emotions just like that. Because right now it looks like you and your shadow. How much you wanted to run from the shadow will be always there. But then, most important here, when you have, as we learn from this beautiful text, saying, your behavior and you, my anger and me, whether they are same or different. You need to see this, because normally people, when they hate themselves, I hate myself. It's more like you feel this emotion and everything like one. So if it is just part of you that you can change, you can I can change this to that. That means you are not that one. You didn't cling to this like one. And then, and you need to respect yourself so much. So how will you respect is, if a child has a vision that I wanted to become a pilot from a young age, and he will study, put effort, and then he will never look to other distractions, but he will stay always focused like, I wanted to become a pilot. I have seen that kid in America, so that's what I'm saying. Like he wears it and dresses. Now he became pilot. So from young age I know. So he's like always wearing this and going, and then he will always go to it. So he's dedicated himself. So if you cannot dedicate yourself to some kind of virtuous path, I can be sometimes wrong, but that doesn't mean that I'm that person. I belong to that. So how much you enjoy with your neighbors, but that neighbor's house is not your house, so you return back to your house. Similarly, this kind of motivation, when you bring into practice, when you feel like negative emotion or anger, jealousy, and whatever, and you feel like this is part of me, I can definitely control that. But my main objective is this one. So this comes and goes, no problem. So then slowly you have this kind of respect, and this seeing yourself, something, the preciousness in you, that you wanted to hold to that identity. So then you will have a divine pride. Not just stupid pride, a divine pride, which each and everybody needs that. So once you have that, even you do thousands stupid things, but you will never feel like I'm stupid, because that doesn't represent me. So this maybe it will help you. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now you. Yeah.
Hey, thank you for sharing of your wisdom. So we talk a lot about our suffering, like how we feel, and we talk a lot about compassion and we wanting to help others and prevent them from suffering. I want to ask, why do we feel suffer from other suffering? I mean, and how to handle it. I mean, I feel it a lot, and I always wonder how to handle it, because if my relative is in a really bad physical and mental condition, or if just random people, I feel their suffering, and I suffer myself, and I'm trying to understand why and how to handle it.
It's very common, because when you have your own suffering, you feel other people's suffering, and you feel the pain, because we don't have an answer for that. Unless you don't have an antidote. Like on one, like maybe a venomous animal beats you. What beats you? Bite you? Beats you.
The past is bit you,
So
bites you.
Bites you, and then you have antidote with you, and then you will say, oh, the poor snake, oh, he beats me, and then you put slowly. you will still see a poor snake. But you don't have them, and then you're lost. So then, that's why where I did learn this teaching from is from His Holiness Dalai Lama. Because I was in Canada, when I was studying in Canada. So in Canada, when I took this English as second language course, and then there was my teacher. One time she came early in the morning. Our class starts at 7:30, and then she just came with her suitcase with full of books, and then she said, "Did anybody hear about today's news?" We all said no. Then this huge earthquake in Nepal happened that time. So, and then she said, oh, many people lost their life and the houses, and the family lost many houses and so on. And then we talked about that. Then she said, when I was listening to this news, then I turned that off, because I have lots of my own suffering. I don't have enough room in my brain to hear other people's suffering. As I'm coming back from the Tibetan background, which we always say mother-centered beings, or wish we can have all the mother-centered beings. Even we cannot do it, we always say this loudly. Each and every day we recite this. So I have this kind of a habit. And then when she concluded her speech like that, I felt very uncomfortable. And she is a very clever lady, and then she can see the reaction from my eyes. Like, oh, he got upset. So then after 2 days later, and then she was checking my homework, and then she said, I know you will write something like this, compassion, blah, 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 blah. I was, because the comparison, thesis on comparison, like I put comparison of His Holiness Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa. So I make this, Then I talk lots of comparison. I know you will talk. I know you will do this kind of thing. And then when she marked everything, and then she said, I have a question for you. 2 days ago, when I say something like this, I can see from your eyes that you feel uncomfortable. So tell me. So then I said, it's not something wrong that you said. I don't feel comfortable, because normally in our culture, even you cannot help, but then you're saying wish I can help them, but I can't. Wish I can. We stop on that. Not like I have my own problem, I don't have time for others. We don't conclude like that. So she said, yeah, every culture has a different ways of thinking, and people. At that time, I really don't know much about the compassion. Even now I don't know much. But one time, because she was such a great gift for me, how she ended this, and then I was curious about how to answer that. How if I feel the same, then how should I do that? It always stayed with me. So then, down south at that time in India, His Holiness was teaching on this. And then His Holiness Dalai Lama said, compassion burned out, this Western way of bringing this terminology sounds very stupid. Compassion, how much you have compassion, it never burns out. Because the compassion is not just a question, it always comes with an answer. So then I was just thinking that's actually really true. The great compassion is, they are suffering, which I can help with this antidote, then give this antidote to them. It's not like they are suffering. What should I do? It sounds helpless. It is not a compassion. So similarly, so that's why when and in the Tibetan, also maybe in the Sanskrit, when we say karuna, it does not have any kind of it shows the word that it doesn't show the word saying like self-compassion. There's nothing to do with the self, myself. It's reserved for others. This compassion is reserved for others. For yourself, if you, because the terminology is already there, the self-compassion is what we understood in Tibet. In English, it's called renunciation, and in Tibetan we say Yinjun. So, what does that mean is to renounce whatever their suffering really comes. We were going through that, where all this suffering comes from that root, from the root which I can take that out with this antidote. And then day and night you are thinking like, wish I can find this antidote. That's complete self-compassion, renunciation. And in Tibetan it's Yinjun. Then your mind is so positive. Not like, what should I do? But wish I can have the antidote, then now I can apply this time to time for myself and for others. For others, then it's compassion. So compassion is with the answer, not without answer. It's without the answer, it's more like it's not a compassion, it's helpless.
And why do you feel like if we feel helpless and we suffer from it, so what is the cause of it? From the three types of suffering?
Of course. Welcome to samsara. You cannot complain when you come to the dance club and switch off the loud music. It comes with it. I'm saying this in Canada, it's first time. Before I used to be a monk. Then I gave up. And then I went to Canada. I never experienced in my life the party, especially dance club. One of my friend, Vietnamese, that time he turned, I think, 28 or 29 something, and then he said, we are best friends. And he said like, Serkong, please come tonight, we have a party. I thought like party like in the house, we will eat something, drink something and something. And then he invited me to this fancy place where all we have to line up. It's snowing outside, and then there were like two big bodyguards. And like, where are we going? It's a party. He said. Maybe he was going into a very fancy place, whose home, and that he knows somebody, and then we are going to party in there. And then I have seen one of the largest door, they opened it, and then loudest music, and then all the people there go so crazy. And then, at that time, what was the most relief? When they, for a few seconds, they changed the music. That was my relief. That was my relief. So I cannot ask them like stop partying. We can. So I sent a message to my host like, please come and pick me up. I shared the location. The Tibetan family, they have a huge respect to me. That's it. And they just found me coming from the dance club. How did you end up here? Yeah. So same thing. Same thing. Temporarily you can help, but if you really wanted to help from the root of something, then this is the practice. So then you need to learn. We are in this kind of box, this kind of a cyclic existence. Of course, this has to happen. And now in order to stop that wish, I can practice that. So this is how we bring our towards the antidote.
Is there an antidote meditation for it, maybe?
Sorry?
Is there an antidote meditation for it?
Antidote meditation.
I mean, like kind of analytical meditation for this kind of suffering or helpless?
You mean for the, what is the antidote for that?
Like antidote meditation, if there is analytical meditation,
Oh yes.
the antidote for this helpless or...
Oh yes, of course. Saying we are chained up by not just merely suffering. Here, we are chained by the causes of that suffering. With this karma, with this kind of negative afflictions. Is there? What the person is that right now it looks like he didn't do anything, but in something in the past, something happened. If this is a result, there should be some causes. So then you really don't need to go very precisely, like, I didn't do anything wrong in this life, but why has this happen to me? Normally we say that, right? Why this has to happen to me? I've been super kind to him, and why he needs to do this to me? We say that. But then you always forgot the episode 1. What happened in the previous. That's how we sometimes these days make a movie. A good movie. So it's just like, and then they show some trailer like something happened in the past. And then it's more exciting. Similar like that. So then that's why when we feel like samsara, it's a never-ending story. It will come up. And then you need to, now if you want to seize that kind of suffering once and all, and then you need to calm down your, not the karma, not only the negative emotions, but the root of that there's called self-grasping, the big boss. So we need to challenge that. And then one great master, whom I really have a huge respect of this Dalai Lama, his 7 points of mind training. At the end of there, such a great message to all of us. Actually, he wrote that for himself, but his practice is such a great teaching for us. So he said, now, up to now, I've been practicing all this now, but now I have the realization that the self-grasping is the root of all the samsara. I have certainty of that. Now even I die, I can die peacefully. That's what he says, like, I know who the enemy is now. So this is very, very good teaching there. So this is how analytical meditation goes up. Then you come to the point like, oh, there's something way of the, as you yesterday said, so samsara is more like the mindset thing, right? There's something wrong with our way of thinking. It takes time, but first, as a first step that we need to go through, I really don't want to what's that? Tormented by this thirst. That is the mantra. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there are 2 ladies there, so I can take only one question now. Should you two play rock, paper, scissors?
Hello, thank you for teaching and jokes.
Jokes?
Jokes.
Jokes.
Love
Oh, wow.
to help us.
Very nice one. Jokes.
So a couple days ago, you were talking about emptiness,
Yeah.
and you said a phrase, and we discussed it in our discussion group. And the more we talked about it, the more of a riddle it became.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you could kind of elaborate and help us decipher. So I think you had said something along the lines of everything has emptiness in it, but not everything is empty.
Yes. Not everything is emptiness. Okay. So what does that mean? Why it's so different? Everything has emptiness on that. Means if you look at this, what it's called, I don't know, juice? Okay, juice. If you look at this, we are not here to see where is the juice, what is the juice. But this is we really don't want to find that. Because we've already found that and we are satisfied. So that's out of now our question. We got answer, yes, this is juice. Nobody will say this is not juice. Even Buddha will say it's a juice. Yeah, of course, go for it. The problem is when you have so much clinging to this juice. So are you really clinging to the real juice, or there's something else that we are clinging so much? So this is our research now. So when you hold to this juice through your grasping, and still we are grasping towards it. We feel like, oh, you can drink it, no problem, I give this to everybody. You still have grasping there. How we have grasping, it's very beautiful. When you look at this juice, it looks like not just merely labeled juice, but you can feel like there's juice, solidly juice there from its own. Now this is very tricky. Who uses this kind of advantage of their solidly juice at the time of our attachment, anger, where we locked it so much, tightened up, so we have already this truly grasping towards that juice, the image of that kind of juice. Unless we don't bring down that kind of image which we feel so solidly there, truly existent by its own there, then it will hunt us down and it will always bring some kind of the suffering which you will have quite an attachment, anchor. So if you share with this and then your friend finishes that juice and you have a high expectation that they will get the juice, but then he emptied it like, oh, such a greedy man. All this, it's you are not fighting for the juice, it's you hold to this identity, the entity. That is what entity of that juice, you hold that so strongly. And I, solidly there. That becomes the case where Buddha says, if you cannot break it down, which is not reality at all. If it's reality, then Buddha cannot break it. We cannot break it. Even if we try to break it, we are so foolish. Because it's not a reality, so we cling to the unrealistic thing, and that is also called mistaken mind, this ignorance mind. And then we are under the sway of that kind of thing. And what brings this kind of a misunderstanding? Automatically, attachment, anger, all this comes up. All this karma, it comes up. So that's why, if you look at the Heart Sutra, how the discussion yesterday when I was trying to explain that, I couldn't find that. So this morning when I looked at it, I found that somewhere. Now I hope I can find that. Also at the time, it's on the 233. Also at the time, Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of profound perfection of wisdom and they beheld these five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Also as inherent nature, not the nature, inherent nature. So when we say like juice and unreal juice, which is inherent existence of juice, this comes for us same juice, which is totally these two are the conventional juice. Maybe we can say conventional juice. The conventional juice, the ultimate juice. The ultimate is the ultimate, not to drink the truth, the real truth of the true nature of that. You cannot find the juice from its own at all. But who finds the juice from its own? Our ignorance mind and attachment and anger. All these are coming because you can. It's like you put a sweet, and then all the ants will come up because there's that sweet. Similarly, this kind of we can bring all the emotion, negative emotions, because you have so much clinging towards that inherent existence of I and inherent existence of that and that and that, and then you can bring all these emotions. So that's the reason why this is why I say every phenomena has emptiness on it, ultimate on it. But if you say it is emptiness, there are many schools who says that. But we have to be super careful. As a beginner's approach, if you start to say the juice is emptiness, then automatically it sounds like there's no juice and you are projecting some juice, and it sounds like you're going crazy. So this is not a presentation of this emptiness. So whole concept of the practice of the emptiness starts when you have a strong wish to get out of the suffering, and you are engaged into the practice of the causes of the suffering that you really wanted to get rid of that. Then you will be asking the question, unless I don't bring this inherent existence of that I, and then automatically how much I battle with the karma and with the purified karma, or then try my best to control my negative emotions, super tiring. So this is where we have to always try to stay on a meditation like the Buddha has done. Through the meditation on the emptiness, he can perform all the kind of actions or practices. So that's why this is so called the power of the Buddha. That's what we need. So emptiness is everywhere, but all the things are not emptiness.
And can I just ask any suggestions on how to strip down its ultimate truth?
Strip down?
Looking at things and understanding the ultimate truth.
How to?
Yeah.
So you look at the juice. Again. You look at this juice, and then you see a juice there, right? So now we need to find this so-called this ultimate juice. Prove it to me where that is ultimate juice. So the cover is not discovers this one. You take the water inside, one by one drop, it's not the juice. By one drop, and then you feel like more drop is building up here, you're like, oh, the juice is here, but still there's a little juice left here. So you feel like, so from its own side, you look at there, this is the one of the best to understand emptiness. Is really good. If it represents something, that's my favorite line. I already told you guys. If it represents something, it means it is not that. It's not me. So my face, my body, my clothes, everything represents me. That means that's not me. How simple is that? So, but still you feel like there is that truly existence, the kind of ultimate that I, from its own, is there because it is appearing from it. So we shouldn't get confused. Because it's everything, I am dependent on everything, it is appearing. Not because I am within that. Is it clear? Right now you look at through all the aggregates. Somebody said in this letter, it's a good one, said I said 5 aggregates like all the people know it. Because many people are not getting the water 5 aggregates. So like my form body, okay, one of the 5 aggregates, my form body. You look at that, you say, oh, this Rinpoche is going there and here, right? So going here and there, you can see from one of my favorite aggregates, which is the form body, but form body is not me. You will never call my form body me. I will be so unhappy then. Right? I don't feel I'm the form body. So my consciousness, many types of consciousness, which one? And my feeling, it's not me. It changes time to time. So now, and the collection of me, that's quite challenging. It looks like the collection is, but then the collection is not me because it represents me. So if you tear down like this, then you will ask one question to me, say, it appears that you appear through your aggregates. So it means that you should be within the 5 aggregates. Like you look at the mirror and the reflection is in the mirror, and you will say the reflection should be in the mirror because it is coming from the mirror side. From the mirror side, isn't it? Mirror side. Yeah. This is the argument. But my best response is no. The reflection is not within the mirror. When my form, body, and the mirror meet, automatically the reflection comes. So that means the reflection is not in the mirror. Tēnī chōngā sētā, tā shīnē kīrī shī yuwas. Mēlōng lā tēnī sūnyē shāk sētā, mēlōng kī ngūnī sūnyē yuwas sētā, pēdī kēwā rē, mā tūrī jīpa shāk yuwas.
So this is where it comes to things arise in dependence upon another. So if the reflection arising in dependence upon the mirror
and the reflection existing within the mirror are completely contradictory.
Okay? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's do the dedication now. Om Saji Bagi Joji Medada Rera Lishi Ninde Gyambali Zangye Shindo Mikte Rohari Doke Manda Jingla Javajo Jetsu Name Gurze Rabdenjin Nanga Jinde Jojo Gyevadam Losan Dembe Gome Zazongi Dove Meze Dadu Nyegyunji Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Gamniya Tayami. And for the long life of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. Gangirave Gome Jigamniya Menam Deva Mahu Gomene Jere Zimon Denzinga Zoi Jebe Zide Valdu Dengyu Ji Giva Kundu Yanda Gamada Deme Juki Bela Jongu Ji Sada Langi Yande Razone Doji Jaki Rupan Yudoshu Tempa Rinjin Chogi Majava Kyabyan Yambar Yukariti dedication. Tempa Rinjin Chogi Magyabam Kyabyan Yambar Yuve Jodini Niji Chidu Ira Gyubayi Bende de Sevache